you can stand there and pretend that nothing happened yesterday, but I can't.
I just think maybe we shouldn't talk about it while we're alone.
Well, fine, I'll just wait till Russ gets here, and then I'll tell you how much I love you.
Phil, come on.
Look, Becky, I've told you my deepest feelings. Don't you think I deserve more of an answer than just a recipe for some fruit salad?
Yeah. I guess judging from our past history, I shouldn't have been surprised when you said what you said.
But you were.
Yeah. I mean, you made me look at my feelings. Let's face it, living with Russ is like living on the back seat of a roller coaster. You've always been there when I hit the bottom. Go away. I said go away.
Come on, Mim, open the door.
I said go away.
I'm not going to go away.
All right, all right. I can't get it open. You'll have to come back.
Turn it to the left, Mim. To the left.
No.
There.
Why don't you just leave me alone and let me sleep?
Is that any way to talk to the man that brought you a perky muffin and a cup of coffee? This place looks like a bat cave.
Well, if you just leave me alone, I could go back and sleep.
At 9:30 in the morning?
Yeah, well, I got to bed late.
Yeah, you probably only got about 14 hours of sleep.
Norman, well, you better leave because Nancy's going to be here any minute.
Funny thing about your friend Nancy. Seems that yesterday afternoon, the police dragged her out of her mother's house and threw her in the slammer.
What?
Yeah. Apparently it caused quite a scene.
But you mean she's out now, right?
No way. Bail wasn't even set.
Well, Norman, she's got to get out. She's got to bring me my medication. I'm sick and I need that.
Come on, man, take it easy.
Norman, I need my medicine. You're just going to have to get it for me.
No, man.
Oh, please. Norman,
No way.
please.
I'm not going to poison you with that stuff.
Well, you're a hypocrite then, because you got it fast enough when you wanted to get me into bed.
Come on, man, you don't need that.
Come on, I just want you to go. I don't need your pity.
I'd like to stay. All right, look. Tell you what I'll do. I'll take off from work. We'll go do something special.
I said I want you to leave. Norman, wait. Norman, you have to get Nancy out of jail for me.
Now, but Miriam, come on.
Well, no, don't you see that we're the only ones that can help her because nobody else will, because I'm her only friend.
There's nothing I can do.
No, but Norman, there's got to be, because you know people, don't you, Norman? I mean, please, won't you just help her? I'd really do anything for you if you could.
Yep, they don't build them like this anymore.
Leon, are you trying to sell me this house again?
You know, Mama, the second I walked into this house, it reminded me of you.
Oh, because it's so large and roomy?
Nope, because it's warm and inviting.
We better watch out. The flies will be in here after a while gathering around. Well, why don't you sit down and have another cup of coffee? Maybe it'll keep your mouth busy.
No sugar this time. Just swish your finger around in it a little bit.
You sure you don't have some Irish in you? Yeah, this is a very lovely house, but not quite a home. Not yet.
I know, but things will settle down. You'll see.
Oh, I'm not so sure.
Where's all that faith of yours?
It's still there. I'm tired. Lord knows I've been praying a long time to get Carl and Jean back together.
Well, at least she's here. That's one step in the right direction.
True, that's one prayer answered.
I saw her last night.
Leon, you've been holding out on me. Tell me what she said.
Not much. I did most of the talking. I just stopped by to let her know that I was still her friend. How do you suppose we can get those two back together?
Oh, I'm not sure. I tried everything I could trying to get those two to keep from breaking up.
I sometimes forget how hard it is on you.
I know, but I have the Lord to call on. Jean and Jimmy, oh, those two for the past 2 years have been hurting. Poor Jimmy. I try to be a mother to him, but you know I'm not his mother. I'm his grandmother. Now, Jean, I am his mother. And he's a grown man, and I can't tell him what to do. Gotta let him make his own mistakes. And you know, sometimes that's a little hard for me to just stand and watch.
Yeah. Old Gene can be bullheaded.
Well, tell me, what do you think about Jimmy?
Well, he seemed fine.
He always does. But he's the one I'm worried about. With him, everything always seems fine on the surface. But deep down, I know he's hurting. And you know he never lets it out. And that's not good.
He'll be all right when things get back to normal.
But things are still up in the air. And I won't be able to relax until things settle down. Did Carla tell you anything about her plans?
Not a word. Now stop being jumpy. Everything's gonna be all right.
Oh, I'm not so sure. You know, as long as Carla and Gene are still legally husband and wife, she can do anything she wants, including leaving town with Jimmy.
Well,
Well, what?
how's it look?
It's okay, I guess. It's kind of funny looking omelets.
That's because it's a crepe, you creep.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
You know, they say that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I think I'd better learn to write a biology book instead. Probably be easier than a crepe. Hey, can we talk for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
Seconds
I've
up.
been... Russ, this is serious.
I know, with us it usually is.
Russ, what's the matter? You haven't been yourself for days.
Is that all it's been? Days? It seems like weeks.
There's no reason why you should be unhappy, you know. Hey, we've had some rough spots, but we got through it, and we're together. But come on, the worst is over.
It's like Barry Manilow. He put some violins behind that doll, and we could have a hit.
Would you please be serious?
I don't want to be serious. Every time we're serious, one of us usually ends up unhappy, and I don't like who it usually is.
Russ, come on. Now, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. All of our problems are behind us. Look, didn't I get us out of that dump we were living in? Huh? Didn't I? And pretty soon, I'm going to be earning enough money that we can just enjoy all the things that make life fun. Now, what could possibly be bothering you?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Then let's enjoy. And you don't have to eat that. I know it's pretty terrible.
No. It's okay, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to think of something else for lunch, because I was gonna stuff it with chicken, but it ain't gonna fly, Orville.
It's okay, because I can't show up for lunch anyway.
It's not you I was worried about. David's coming over.
Oh. So, this special breakfast is just a dress rehearsal, then?
No, but I thought I could kill two birds with one stone.
Yo, why don't we make it a threesome, huh? Hey, why don't you call Friendly Phil and invite him, too?
I did. Look, Russ, you said you had something else to do, right?
Yeah, well, when I get done with that, I'd like to be able to come back to my own house. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I made a mistake. It's your house. No, now, wait a minute. That's not right either. Actually, technically, we're only here as guests. You know something, Beck? You better have yourself a hit song real soon, because Colin just might have us arrested for trespassing.
That's not the way it is, and you know it. Now, come on, David made it perfectly clear. Russ, this is our place.
Then how come I get the feeling that every time he walks in here, he's checking for holes in the walls?
Because you're paranoid?
Yeah, well, it's not hard to be when another man's initials are on my bath towels.
Look, I don't have time to sit around arguing with you all morning, okay? I'm gonna go fix lunch, and I cannot do it by hanging around here.
Yeah, well, hanging around here is the last place that I think Cohen intends for you to stay.
You see, Becky, dealing with Russ has taught me how to be insanely jealous, resentful of competition, and passionate to a fault. All pretty poor ways of saying I love you.
Phil? Phil? Phil?
Francis.
I told you all that loud music was gonna hurt your ears.
What? Oh, no, I was just thinking about something.
Wouldn't be the band, would it?
No.
No, I didn't think so. I'd say Becky would be closer to the mark.
Bullseye. Am I that obvious?
Probably not to anyone else. I just recognize the symptoms.
Well, tell me, doctor, what is your prognosis?
Not good. Look, Phil, I know we're worlds apart as far as, well, girls and romance goes. But take my advice. Drop this thing with Becky before it gets out of hand.
You're right, Miller. We are worlds apart, so why don't you stay out of something you probably don't understand?
I understand, all right. I may not be the expert player you are, but I'm a far better judge. This thing you have for Becky will always be one-sided. Drop it before you get embarrassed.
Too late. She already knows my feelings.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything. Unfortunately, I took her by surprise.
Good. I mean, then her feelings weren't reciprocal?
No. Not yet, at least. I'm gonna have a little lunch with her today, and I think I intend to pursue this a bit further.
What, are you gonna go for a broken jaw this time?
You lay off, Miller. What, are you jealous?
No. Idealistic. I believe in the sanctity of marriage.
Look, this particular marriage is a fiasco.
Maybe from your vantage point. But I don't think Becky would agree with you, and neither would Russ.
Your secretary told me to come right in.
Yes, of course, Miss Redland. Have a seat, please.
Well, after I left here yesterday, I talked with my husband. More like argue, you should say. Jimmy's staying with me for a while.
And, did your husband deny that he never filed for divorce?
No, well, how could he? I mean, I confronted him with everything you gave me.
Would have made things more interesting if you had.
This is all so confusing.
I know it is. The main question right now, though, is where do you stand on your marital status?
What do you mean?
You're still married. You want to be?
Gene certainly doesn't want anything to do with me. I guess I don't. But I don't want this to get messy. I mean, I did leave him.
Well, that's where a convenient little thing called no-fault divorce comes to the rescue.
How does that work?
Well, if a couple has been separated long enough...
Is 2 years long enough?
Oh, yeah, that's more than adequate. If a couple's been separated long enough, then both parties agree to the divorce, no grounds are cited, paperwork's processed expeditiously, and marriage is dissolved. 1, 2, 3, just like that. It's easier than walking down the aisle.
You know, it's sad how something that could mean so much could be done away with so unemotionally.
Matrimony, Miss Redland, is a country which everybody on the outside's trying to get into. Everybody on the inside's trying to get out of.
Is this going to be an expensive proposition?
Now, do I look like the kind of attorney who'd charge an exorbitant fee? I would hope that you'd consider suing your husband for alimony, custody of your child, not to mention child support, and a couple other things I won't go into right now.
I don't know. There's so much to consider.
Well, you think about it. But don't take too much time. Faster the better.
I have one more question. Do I have the right to take my son and just leave town?
Yeah?
Thank you.
Now, look, maybe you can pretend that what happened yesterday didn't, but I can't.
All right. Just, I don't think that we should talk about it while we're alone.
Well, fine. Then I'll just wait till Russ gets here, and I'll tell him how much I love you.
Phil, please, come.
Look, Becky, I've told you my deepest feelings. Don't you think I deserve a little bit more of an answer than a recipe for fruit salad?
Yeah. I guess, judging from our past history, I shouldn't have been surprised when you said what you said.
But you were.
Yeah. Made me really look at my feelings. Well, let's face it, Phil, living with Russ is like being seated in the back seat of a roller coaster, and you always been there when I hit the bottom. You and Francis.
Oh, so that's it. I'm in the same category as he is. Thanks a
No,
lot.
Phil, come on, look at what you've done for me. Huh? I'm Becky Hewitt again. I like myself for the first time in months, and you're responsible for a lot of that.
Hope you don't mind. Use my own key.
No. Hi, Dave.
Am I interrupting anything?
No, we were just discussing, you know,
The
how...
weather.
Yeah, the weather. Warm, isn't it?
Very. You ready to go, kid?
Go where?
Out to lunch, Puddinhead.
But I fixed us lunch.
Now, get your coat. We'll go out.
Okay. Phil, too, right?
Well, actually, Phil, the stuff I need to go over today really doesn't involve...
All right. Yeah, I've got some sheet music I can chase down. So why don't we just make it another time?
Phil, you sure you don't mind?
No, not at all. See ya.
I'll get my coat.
You said you made lunch, Becky?
Yeah, but it's okay. I'll just feed it to Russ for dinner. Don't worry about it.
Well, it'd be a shame not to eat it now. Tell you what, let's stay in. I mean, after all, it's a lot more intimate here than in a noisy restaurant.
I tried to talk her into leaving, but she just didn't leave me any alternative.
Poor Nancy.
The choices were hers, Mrs. Davidson.
Please, don't say any more. It's a horrible thing for anyone to go through, and it's all my fault.
Hardly. She's the one that broke the law.
Instead of trying to work things out, I slapped a court action against her.
I think you're being just a little too hard on yourself here. You did try to work something out. It was her greed that kept her from being reasonable.
But can't I bail her out? Isn't there something I can do?
Well, I'm afraid not. She violated a court order, not a statute. That's a non-bailable offense.
Then maybe she can be transferred to a better jail or something.
I'm sorry. She's going to have to stay right where she is until her arraignment. Look, Mrs. Davidson, I don't mean to seem rude, but I'm a little perplexed as to why you would want to help this woman at all.
Well, the Bible tells us to forgive, Sergeant.
Don't you think you're taking this a little too far?
What possible good ever came from hating anybody?
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised you forgave the man that killed your husband and mother. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. But don't you see, if I hadn't forgiven him, his life would have been destroyed too.
Maybe you're right. Look, I tell you what. You could go see Judge Slaymaker. She's the one that issued the order in the first place. I'm not saying that she'll do anything, but she might.
Thank you. I just might do that.
Well, I gotta get going. Streets won't be safe until I fill out this little report that says how many miles I've driven this week.
Well, listen, if you hear anything more about Nancy's case, you'll get in touch with me.
Will do. Hello, Mrs. Cummings.
Sergeant, how are you? Is everything all right?
Well, as good as can be expected, I guess. What brings you by?
Oh, I just escaped from the Cummings Home for Delinquent Girls. Can you hide me till it gets dark?
Quick, get into the broom closet. That's a delinquent girl, isn't it?
Well, I hope it remains singular, but I'm really worried about Jill's effect on Jenny.
Well, just remember, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it.
I guess so, but we didn't have any part in raising Jill, and Jenny's so young. How can we expect her not to try to imitate Jill?
So, did you have a nice beauty rest?
Guard? Guard!
That's matron, honey. And this particular one likes to be called Miss Clemenza. You'll learn. You know, looking at you reminds me of the first time they hauled me in here.
Hey, look it. I am not a hooker.
Oh, we're still playing that game, huh?
Will you just leave me alone?
Hey, look, I tried to be friendly to you. I mean, I think us girls should stick together, but, you know, I've just about had it.
Good. Maybe I'll get some peace and quiet then.
Too good for me, huh? You know, I wore nicer than that in my day. I didn't always used to look like this, you know. Sure, I had designer gowns, nice apartment. I even had a car.
Will you just leave me alone?
Hey, I'm sorry. Take it easy, honey.
You know, it really is nice to talk about it openly and not keep it all bottled up inside.
Oh, I think it's important to say things out loud. Sometimes when you hear yourself saying them instead of thinking them, you get a different perspective.
I guess things aren't really that bad with Jill. Well, I guess I should get going home because Jenny's going to be back from school any minute.
Whoa, here she is.
Hi, Mrs. Davidson.
Hi, Jenny.
It's not polite to barge into someone's house like that. You should knock first.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's better.
Mommy, Jill was smoking in the backyard again.
Oh, well.
But this cigarette smells real funny.